Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to Decisive Decisions, episode number 3. And we had a great week for this series and you are about to find out why. No messing around at all, we are going to get straight into claiming our glory and looking at the rewards. Let's see what we got. So we got promoted into Division 2 with our second team and you're going to see how we managed to do that because we had some standout players again. We managed to pick up 100 limited essence and 1k XP, and we're going to go and look at the teams that managed to get us there. So guys, this game week, once again, we had two teams in the Premier League to go for that 380 point streak, and from the off, you can see we didn't hit it. But this series is decisive decisions, and we managed to pick up 3 decisives, but we do have one negative. With not hitting the 380 point streak, we are finally going to be doing our first spin of the wheel. But to look at the teams first, obviously team number 1 was our best team, and as in the first game week, massively proved to not be our best team. Matt Sells conceding to Crystal Palace. Nico Williams had an alright game, picking up 59 points. Elliot Anderson only getting a 43 with our captain. Yuri Tillemans with a 48 and Ollie Watkins with a 36. We managed to stay in Division 1, but boy, this team just was poor on all levels. But let's have a look at our second team, the team that I did not think was going to do well at all. Leno picking up 52 points. Unfortunately, didn't get the penalty save when Bruno managed to sky it, because that actually would have got us pretty close to the streak. Tino Livramento picking up our first decisive, getting an assist in a 3-2 defeat to Liverpool. Boubacar Kamara is such an annoying one. Obviously, I have Paqueta, who managed to score an absolutely thunderous goal, and that also would have put us on the 380 point streaks and returned us $50. But nonetheless, he got subbed off early with an injury and only picked us up 37 points. Callum Hudson-Odoi picked up a goal, getting us 68 points, and Semenyo captain picked up another decisive with an assist. So that means we have £30 to add to the budget. But before we do that, we need to go over to the wheel. So I am very, very nervous for the first spin of the wheel. This has been sitting here since I created it. We have lose £5, lose £10, a game week suspension for the last player I bought, no forfeit at all, give away £5 card or give away a £10 card. Let's get into the first spin. What are we going to get? Please don't be too bad. We are going to get... That is so boring. That is... honestly, my first take. I mean, if I could show you how many times I've spun the wheel. I'm going to close that, but we got no forfeit results. So there you go. That was the first time I'd spun the wheel. And we have no forfeit for the first game week. But that does mean we are going to have a £30 budget to go into. So we have topped up the budget and we have £30 in the balance. And as you can see, we spun the wheel this morning and we got so lucky. £37 worth of market credits because it was one of the super spins, which means we actually have a total of £60 to spend on a team. Now, I don't know whether to go with Belgium, the Netherlands, or the, I can't remember what the other league's called. If we go over to home, we're going to look at the hot streaks because that's what we're going to, we're going to focus this on. Let's view the hot streaks. So the 3 that I'm going to choose from, and I'm going to put a poll over on Twitter in a couple of hours. We either have Contender, we have Jupiler, or we have Eredivisie. I don't have a preference. I know nothing about either of the leagues. I don't really watch them. So I'm quite excited to get into it. But we do have a £60 budget to spend on new in-season cards. Obviously, if we buy a classic goalkeeper, then that's going to hamper the amount of credits we can use. So it may be slightly less. So going over to my Excel, the trusty Excel, game week 2, we picked up 0 rewards. We've now added £50 worth of cash with £20 in the last game week and £30 for this game week. We've currently spent £120.98. I completely forgot I went over, so I'll try and stay within my remaining budget of £29. But I want to fill out one of these with at least one team, probably just aim for one team. We've had £18.45 rewards and we've had £3.32 because we sold the Wilson Isidore. Unfortunately, we currently only have 950 limited essence. So maybe next week we'll be able to do a craft with Premier League and All-Star being the choices. So guys, it is a couple of days later and we have picked up a completely brand new team. We've gone for Challenger. I didn't end up doing a poll over on Twitter. Instead, I had a weird decision. I was looking at the market and the Rangers stack was the one that stood out to me. I wanted to go for different teams, but when I was looking at the budget, I had about £60 left, £60 total with the market credits. So as you can see, we had £30, we're down to 84p, which if we quickly jump over to our tracker, you can see we're still over budget by 14p, but I'm closer than I was before, and you can see the cost of the players that I picked up there. So thankfully, all these players we got the privilege of picking up for half price from spinning the wheel. So it's a bit of a contentious one. Rangers, I feel, are a team that can definitely hit you 1, 2, maybe 3 of the streaks in a row. The problem is the first game week I'm using them, they're playing against Celtic. And the second problem is they are in a bit of a crisis at the moment. But the price of the players, to me, seem like this would be a bargain because I feel like the manager's going to get sacked. They're going to get a new one in. And then this is when this team can absolutely storm it. Another problem I have is the guy who I've captained this week, who I completely forgot to switch the captain. And the lineup has just been locked a couple of minutes ago. Not unless I still have the time to edit this. No, only the Premier League one. Unfortunately, I can't change this, which is super frustrating. But Nicholas Raskin looks like he may be getting a transfer away or even not being started with the current manager. But the players we picked up anyway, Jack Butland in goal, John Suter, those two are absolutely guaranteed starters for pretty much most game weeks. I'm going to skip over Raskin. Up front, we've got Gassama, and then we've got Joe Rovwell, who's on set pieces. I quite like the team, you know. The cost of it was £60. The cost of it to me was about £30 or a bit under £29. But fingers crossed, you know, this is the first game week, so I'm quite happy that the first game week is going to be a bad one. It also makes it slightly interesting because they are playing against Celtic. Plenty of chance for me to not only miss the streak, but also miss, also negative decisives from errors. Celtic, Rangers, both teams in a bit of a rough state at the moment. I'm sure they'll come out of it in a couple of games' time and once the transfer window is finished. But this is the team that we have picked up. Let me know down below, do you think this team, at the cost to myself of £30, is a bit of a bargain? Do you think we can hit streaks with it? I'll be interested to see what you think. But moving back into our trusty Premier League teams, the teams that we have had for 2 weeks now, obviously first week did well, hit the streak. Second week, we got some nice decisives for the budget, but we failed to hit the streak, span the wheel, and we got a boring one. Fingers crossed next time it's at least a giveaway, or at least, you know, take something away, because we want it to be a bit more fun than this. I kind of am looking forward to as I, get the chance to build more teams, because that's when it's going to get really interesting. We're going to have 2 free spins of a wheel an episode if we don't hit the streaks. But, I mean, this week, I feel like I'm definitely going to hit that first 360 streak and hopefully secure that $10 from the Premier League with the double rewards at the moment. So team number 1, as you guys know, historically is always my favourite, but historically is always also the worst. So we have Matt Sells in goal, really, really nice fixture against West Ham. And then we have the other Nottingham Forest players I also have against West Ham. So we've got Nico Williams, Elliot Anderson, who is my captain again this week, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and our extra is Semenyo. So obviously he's got a hard game away against Spurs who haven't conceded, but I wanted to keep my other players together. I would have loved to put Livramento in this team, and thinking about it now, I don't know why I did. I remember why I did. I didn't because I wanted to captain him as well, and we could have put Anderson in here as we've got him as a spare centre back, and this always happens. I can go and change it now. There you go, guys. This is what happens in my brain. We are going to change this now. So we are going to take Livramento out of this team. We're going to chuck Joachim Anderson in. We'll come back to this team after, so we'll leave Joachim Anderson as captain. But now I really, really like this team. So hopefully we can still stay in with the 4% bonus with Livramento. We go over by 1. And now I remember why I left it as I did. I mean, we have the option of Minte against Man City. this is one of those. Do I want the extra 4%, which, let's say I get 350 points. That's about a 15-point bonus, I think. Something around there. Is Livramento going to get 15 points more than Semenyo this weekend? Probably against Leeds. So for that reason, we are putting him in this team. This team is the one that's going to hit me 360 this week. I'm confident in it. Captain Anderson, and that is team number 1 for the Premier League. So that's 2 out of my 3 teams done. And then we're going to have a quick look at the second team. So Leno is obviously the only goalkeeper we have. Defence-wise, Anderson is the only defender we have. Midfielder, Tielemans is obviously one of my most expensive players. Crystal Palace could be a good game. They've had an extra 2 games to all the other Premier League clubs recently. I don't know if Aston Villa played in the midweek in... I can't remember what the League Cup's called these days. And then we have Ollie Watkins, also from Aston Villa. And then as our third player, so Lucas Paqueta against Chelsea decided to get a decisive and stopped me hitting the streak, which is very frustrating. I wish I used him. Semenyo obviously has had 2 really good games, a great start to the season, and Minte has done absolutely nothing, and Kamara is out injured. So from these 3, you know, if I'm thinking about it logically, Minte against Man City, it's going to be a hard game. I can't see him doing much, but Man City do concede at the moment. Semenyo's had a great start to the season, and then we have Paqueta against Nottingham Forest. I think West Ham are going to struggle again, but I just feel like the upside potential of Semenyo is going to be the one that I want to go. I feel like if Spurs lose their clean sheet, Semenyo is going to be the one to do it. So Lucas Paqueta and Minte are going to be the ones that sit out this week. Captain is between Euro Tielemans and Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins hasn't scored yet this season, so he is bound to do it this weekend. So he is going to be the captain, and we're going to confirm that lineup. We get the extra 6%, which gives Ollie Watkins a 64% bonus. Euro Tielemans 14%. I really, really like this team. And those are going to be our 3 teams. Before we close out the episode, I wanted to quickly look at 2 things. 1 is Classic, and 2 is the Hot Streaks. So Classic is so awesome. It's a free-to-play mode. If you guys don't play it, you get to open a pack every day. Why not? You've got nothing to lose, and it gives you some great experience on the game. I've been opening the packs on the free-to-play account, and I'm so glad I did, because there's now streaks, which we're going to go and look at when we look at the limited streaks in a moment. But the teams that we've got in Classic, I'm not going to go over it very over a long time. I'm going to go over it quickly. We've got Vicario in goal, Agbadu, Caicedo, Haaland and Cunha. They're the players I managed to pick up. And then we also have a La Liga team. So we have Courtois, Marino. Those 2 players I really like, and I also like Afam Gruber. But these other 2, Danny Parejo is probably not going to start, and Ivan Romero up top. Don't really know how he's going to do. But those are the Classic common teams that I've got this weekend. So to close out episode number 3 of Decisive Decisions, I hope you guys stuck around till the end. We're going to be going for the 360 points with our 2 teams to try and secure that $10 this week. And then we're also going to be going for 360 points on Challenger. Let me know, guys, down below, do you think I can hit either of them? I'm pretty hopeful for the Premier League, not very hopeful for the Challengers. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. And also, I've been doing a couple of giveaways from my main account when I craft some decent players to give away to you guys. So make sure you subscribe, because, you know, you never know, you might be one of the lucky winners. I may have a video coming out on Sunday, which is a review of my £5,000 main account team. I can't wait to see how this weekend goes. I've got some nice lineups across the board. Fingers crossed you guys hit some good scores. I shall see you next week, and fingers crossed we all do decent.